And boom, just like that, we back. 5.3, 4L60s out, sitting on the ground. She was a leaker. I mean, a leaker. I mean, this thing had leaks. But again, she ran like a champ. What's this engine bay looking like? Looking like it needs some paint and some other stuff. But we're gonna make it work. Oil pressure sensor, ground, starter wire, old harness, which we pulling it out completely. We're not messing with it at all. Back in with the new and improved 6.0. Yes. We'll take that old harness out. Like I said, this should be just simple, Simon, man. We done already did it once. Just do it again. Ain't nothing else to it, you know. Do it again. Wish I had a pressure washer to clean some of this up. I don't have one at the moment, and I'm pressed for time. I gotta get my truck back on the road. So let's get some paint, hit these little spots here, and take a look at the 6.0. You're probably wondering, why would you want to pull the 5.3 out just for a transmission swap? Why wouldn't you just do a 4L80 swap to the 5.3? What fun is that? You know, I want the 6.0. Should have did a 6.0 before, but I didn't have a 6.0. Now that I have a 6.0, I'm gonna use the 6.0. So that's where we're at. Let me take a look at this engine. Super clean, got it clean. Let's take a look at it. Bye-yow! And I painted it my favorite color. Black. I'm gonna hit it again. Hit it one more time with some black paint. And bolted to the transmission. I was on the fence again. Ready to pull some heads and put him on here. I was so close. So close. But I pressed for time. So I can't. The worst come to worst, I could do it later. No big deal. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and try to pull it out. Put a little bit more paint on it. Get my transmission bolted to it somehow. I can get it bolted to it. I just somehow need to get it over to the engine, or get it over to the truck itself, because we're doing this in the grass. All right, we got him ready to drop off. Loaded in the back of the dually. I call Guzzler. Ready to drop him off, man. Got some paint on him. And got it cleaned up. Got some paint on him. Oh, now I'm gonna unhook it from this hoist, bring my transmission over, bolt my transmission up, and I gotta cut the ears off my ADE. And then once I cut them little wing ears off, bolt it up, and of course you see the truck's back there. We gotta pull the truck forward as we drop the motor in. That's how we doing it, man. Not that I want to do it that way, but that's the only option I got right now. Hats off to you guys getting it in out here in the driveway. Hats off to you guys getting it out there in the yard. Man, if you got a shop, man, count your blessings. Hey, man, we got him in there, y'all. We got him in there. Never mind them wires. All that's coming out. That reservoir's coming out. If you notice something different, that's a different intake, ain't it? It's not a TBSS. It's not a truck style. It's not a sheet metal. That's what they call the Victor Jr. And then I got an Edelbrock elbow on it. This exact intake is what I had on my Mustang years ago. made good power. I said, man, I'm going to do something different. Everything else I see is the TBSS. Everything else I see is the sheet metal. So I wanted to do something different, and that's how something different is this intake here. We still have the 78 millimeter throttle body, which is, 6.0. We did not touch the heads, man. I was on the fence. I wanted to change these heads so bad. I really did, but I didn't. We're going to leave it where it's at. Have some fun with it where it's at. LQ, 4? LQ4. I'm looking at the horsepower numbers, But again, I'm like, man, I'm driving this truck back and forth to work every day. Ain't no need of me trying to put some hopped up stuff in it to where I had to put 93 and 91 octane in it all the time. And then, gas mileage goes to I don't need that, man. I don't need that. So we are just basically a LQ4. I thought it was LQ9. It is an LQ4, 4L80, 2400 stall. We do have a cam in it. Now, that cam is going to change my gas mileage. But with it being a 4L80E with overdrive, we shouldn't be hurting. We shouldn't be hurting too bad. Long tubes was the plan. Man. We may not be able to do the long tubes because that side, let me give a flashlight. Where's that? Sorry, we out here in the dark, man, but you got to get it in when you can get it in, man. This side, look at that. Smooth, perfect. I mean, all the clearance in the world. This side, that header don't even fit, man. It won't mount up. It won't do nothing, man. I done did everything I could short of cutting it up and trying to re-weld it. Nah, I don't even want to get into that. You know what I mean? I had some shorties. I didn't want to run shorties. I wanted to run long tubes. I had some shorties. I have no idea where these shorties are now. I don't know where they're at, man. Because worst came to worst, I put a shorty over here, long tube over here, and let it rock. But nah, we ain't gonna do that. I had some shorties. If I can find some shorties, I'll put it over there. But I'm a little perturbed over that because I got everything, the crossover. Look, here, let me show you. Look, I got the Y pipe, the elbow, and he's the one that won't fit. He's been modified before now, and this is before I got it. So, but it was, all the homework says it will work on an OBS. It's not working. So anyway, we got the Y pipe, elbow, all that good stuff. ECM's coming out. Well, the wiring harness is coming out. We got to do if y'all familiar with messing with factory ECMs, since it was a 4L60, now 4L80, I have to do what they call a segment swap. At the segment swap, that ECM from a 4L60 to a 4L80, and just hope that I have something file-wise that I can go ahead and dump it all into. Again, another thing that I've run into, since I'm running this intake, if you can see it, it takes a tall injector. I don't have any tall injectors. I don't have any. I wanted to run a 36-pound, 42-pound injector of some type. And I'm trying to figure out, is this something I got? Or, I do have a Flex Fuel 09 injector. I do have that. But it's a short injector. It's not a tall injector. And the way that the fuel rails work, let me show you. All right, we back. See if I can. I don't know. We got light. Y'all might be able to see it. If you can't, my apologies. We getting it in the dark. Okay, fuel rail. See the fuel rail? This is the actual fuel rail, and these are the holes that line it up, right? So if I take, this is a standard fuel injector from 534860. If I stick that there, and then try to line it up with this. And look, it's not even seated. See what I'm saying? Not even seated. And I try to, but the hose don't line up. So I have to have a tall injector. Now, I do have, let me see, I'll grab this one. This is a taller injector. I'm just using it for reference. Here's another tall injector. I don't know what they come off from or what they belong to. It's just collecting parts over the years. That's it. But that taller injector, like so. Uh-oh. Do I got this backwards? I might have it backwards. Let's see. Yes, I had it backwards, y'all. There we go. See that tall injector? And they fit just like they supposed to. And if I ain't mistaken, this injector's out of a Crown Vic. That injector's probably out of a Crown Vic or something. I don't know what it's out of. I don't know the poundage. I don't know anything. It's just something I had laying around. So I have to have a tall injector. So, or all is not lost. They do make a, what do they call it? Adapter to make your injector taller. They do make that for a short injector. Other option is they do have a set of these brackets that has another set of holes. Has a hole here and a hole here that will allow you to run a shorter injector. So I don't know which way I'm gonna go yet, but we definitely about to finish this thing up. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do on this passenger side. I want long tubes. I wanted 706 heads with Pac 12 springs. I wanted LQ9, not LQ4. But man, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? At this point, we got it in. We got the 6.0 in, 4L80 in, 2400 stall in. So, and I didn't film none of this because we're doing this out here on the gravel, man. And we have to do some unconventional things to make it happen. Unconventional, you know. You also noticed I changed the water pump. We went with the 2008, 2010, 2009, 2011 and up water pump. And of course it's the same radiator hose. We'll see if we can make it work. Got the radiator in, got the fans in. The brake booster line will go here. We do have a brake booster line. It is not on the same side, so that line will go there. This, I'm gonna have to cap this off and then run, either let this vent to atmosphere or run a catch can of some type. And then we have this dude right here for my map sensor. Map sensor goes right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Map sensor goes there. So there's plenty of room for activities under the hood of these OBSs with your LS. So, you know, this is, I would consider a rather tall intake compared to your truck style. And then again, it may be the same as a truck style. I'm not sure, but it's going to work for what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? I want something different. And I think I've accomplished that. Super clean for the wind on the engine. Cleaned it up real nice. I had to switch out the oil pressure sensor. That is the oil pressure sensor out of the 5.3. So we can have that gauge working on the factory dash. Cold air intake, we're probably going to change that up, do something different. I actually have a throttle body with about a 6-inch, what do they call, I guess a 6-inch adapter to it, welded to it. that I could probably use there. And it's a 78 millimeter as well. I don't have any 102s or 92s or anything like that laying around. So we're 78 millimeter throttle body. We got, what do they call the Super 10 exhaust. We was going to run, I was attempting to run Super 10s and let it sit there and chop, let it run. And this would be the daily. I said the daily. Let me show you something. All right, what I wanted to show y'all was 58 psi fuel filter regulator 6AN fitting the Corvette fuel filter regulator. I have the regular style, push lock style, but on the push lock style, sometimes, man, they tend to leak. So I went ahead and opted for the 6AN feed and return. 6AN feed and return fuel filter regulator. I like this because most of the time an AN fitting don't leak. Most of the time. So as long as you got the right pitch, the right thread, they don't leak. So that's why I went with this one versus the push lock. In the description, I'll put a link for this one, so y'all can check it out. It is, I've used it before. I like it. I like the 6AN style. And this, so therefore, again, you know, with this being I'm going to build it as a non-return style fuel system. That's why we're running this here. 75105 6AN. Then, one more thing. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. My transmission cooler. Not very big. Not very big at all. But for what we're doing, I do not pull with the truck. So I feel like that this is going to work for now. I do have a bigger, I guess you would call it a, what is it, 6x12, I guess, on it now. The regular that you would have, and it's a big one. It plays the role. It's done its job. I thought it's done its job, but of course we ate up to two 4L60s, and that's why we are here with that 4L60 or the 6.0 now, because of the 4L60. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and try to run this, make some brackets, put it in front of the radiator, and call her good. Big shout out to Mustang Mike. That's where the 5.3 came from. Now the 6.0 came from. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Alex. We got a grill that we're going to put in this dude. We got a different grill that ain't all busted up. So, man, tell me what y'all think about this setup, man. Y'all like that? Do y'all like that? That setup right there? Y'all like that? It's what they call the Edelbrock Victor Jr. And then we also have the Edelbrock Elbow. And that setup, believe it or not, that fit underneath the hood of a Fox Body Mustang. Yeah, I did have a 2-inch cowl. That setup right there fit underneath the hood of a Fox Body Mustang. Sure did. We got the Spectra cold air intake, hot air intake, cold air intake, however you want to call it. And then I also have the alternator bracket, power steering pump bracket, offset bracket that we like to run. So I got a different one of those that we're going to put on it and let it ride. Other than fuel, harness, and injector, we still got to figure out what we're going to do with this injector. Then we would, you know, we'll be in the system of getting this thing fired up. So once we get that happening, we'll hit the button, just hit that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We're going to have this thing fired up at the end of the week, Lord willing. Got to figure out this header deal. And we back, back. As you can see, header, driver side success. Header, passenger side. Like I said, don't worry about the wires. This is coming out success, but there's only one problem. That's a shorty. Any long tube that I've tried on this side, believe me when I say any, because I've got plenty, won't fit. There's one. There's one. Uh-oh. There's one. There's one. There's one. So if anybody needs long tubes for certain cars, if you're interested, hit me up. I'll make sure you get the information on what they fit. You know what I mean? This bottom one I knew wasn't gonna fit, but I couldn't pass them up. This one here was a possibility, and that one back there was the original that came with the set that I had. So be it. Anyway, we can still do something with it. I don't want to run a shorty on one side and a long tube on the other, but I gotta get my truck running. Why not just run manifolds? It'd make more sense, wouldn't it? Make more sense. Until I can come up with a solution, because this side here works perfect. I mean, the motor needs to come up probably another quarter. Let's see, hold on. No, it needs to come up quite a bit because the 80E is a lot longer. So hopefully the motor can slide forward enough before this one hits the frame. If not, I got another dilemma. But I got another set of long tubes. There's two more right there. That's the driver's side. So, yeah, man. You know, you got to trial and error. I think I got my injector problem fixed. We're going to probably run with some not decapped, some flex fuel, 09s and ups. Because I know they're 28, 32, whatever poundage they are. And I think I could change this out to accept the shorter set of injectors. So hopefully, I think I can. If not, like I said, I got a set of Snake Eater 1500s, but that's going to be way too much injector for what we got right here. So I don't feel like it's necessary to put those in there. Hold on, I got another set of Seaman Decker somewhere. You know what? Just to get it started, I'm trying something. So y'all bear with me. She may smoke. She may load up. It may be one catastrophe. But, you know, whenever I started this one on the other motor, I said all the wrong parts. I didn't want to put this together for all the wrong parts. So be it. We're going to make it happen, though. We're going to make it happen. Yes, sir. Lord willing, we'll have some fire to this thing tomorrow. That's what I'm attempting to do. Fire to it tomorrow. Do I got a crossover? I'm trying to think. Do I have a... shoot. I'm trying to think, do I got a crossover for feeding the fuel rails? You know, that you got to have a crossover also to feed the fuel rails. So, I don't know. I have to look at my stash and see. I might have one and I might have to make one.